Welcome back to the CBN News channel. Last week marked yet another string of bloody days for Christians in Nigeria. The Washington Examiner reported Boko Haram terrorists took over a town in Nigeria's far eastern state of Adamawa, burning buildings and exchanging fire with government troops. Save the Persecuted Christians has for the past several months been urging the Trump administration to take action. The organization's new traveling exhibit aims to bring awareness to the tragedy faced by Christians in Nigeria and all over the world. Joining us now with more is Frank Gaffney, the chairman for Save the Persecuted Christians. Frank, great to have you on the broadcast. Tell us about this new exhibit. What is being featured?
Well, it's an exhibit that we've had up for about a year in various places around the country, and we'd love to make it available to your audience. They can check it out at savethepersecutedchristians.org. It is a display that is designed, as you said, to convey in a very, very quick and powerful way that what is happening to Christians literally around the world today is a nightmare. It's a blight on our civilization that we're allowing it to happen. The way I think of it is, if you took the number of people who were murdered by Pol Pot in Cambodia, and you add to that the number of people that were murdered by Adolf Hitler in the Third Reich, and the number of people that were murdered by Joseph Stalin in his horrific mistreatment of Ukraine and so many others in the Soviet system, and even adding in the number of people that were killed by Mao Zedong, the number of lives that are being devastated around the world today would make all of that in Cambodia, in Germany, in the Soviet Union, in China, pale by comparison. Only the difference is that's not happening in some ancient period. It's happening right now on our watch.
Frank,
so we put together this effort to try to call attention to that and encourage people to help stop it.
Yeah, we've been talking about Nigeria. Where are some other places around the world where Christian persecution is at its highest?
Well, it's easier to find places where it's not happening than where it is. But the worst of it is taking place in North Korea, in, of course, the Middle East, and across parts of Africa where this phenomenon of Sharia supremacism is on the march. Nigeria being just one example of that. And of course, places like China and India, and even here in our own hemisphere in Mexico, where priests are being murdered with regularity. I mean, these are things that are taking place. Some of them involve the murder of people, even on a genocidal scale. Others involve everything from rape and enslavement and torture and crucifixion. But whatever it is, by the estimates of groups like Open Doors and the Victims of the Church in Need, there are between 245 and 320 million Christians who are being not just made to have a bad day once in a while, but heavily persecuted in country after country after country. And again, this exhibit that we've put together, it's called the People of the Cross exhibit. It's available for a nominal sum if you want to bring it to your own church or your own civic center or your own state capitol for display. It tells the story of how this is happening in all of these countries and does so in a way that's very compelling, and I think compels us specifically to try to hold the persecutors accountable and create costs to them for what they're doing, these crimes against humanity. This is the missing piece. There are many groups, many of them associated with our coalition, that are doing courageous work trying to help relieve the suffering. But what we think is uniquely needed and we are trying to do is, as I say, to change the calculus of the people doing the persecution by creating costs to them for doing it.
Okay,
and this is something we just desperately need your help with.
Thank you, Frank. I appreciate it. We have to leave it right there. Thank you, Frank Gaffney, with a terrific group shedding light on the persecution of Christians around the world. Thank you for coming on the show.